Kia ora and good morning, everybody. And welcome to the second ECNI webinar. It's part of our series that we're running for all our lovely friends and family. So kia ora to you all, welcome to you all. G'day to our Aussie mates who have joined us from across the ditch this morning. And this is the second in a series of webinars that we're running from the Explore Central North Island team. And we've missed all of you, and I know that it's been difficult days. Our regions and our tourism whānau have missed you all, but with a little help from our friends at Waimarino, what we do want to say to you is just keep paddling the waka, because we'll get there. All right, let's have a look at what's happening here. So this morning, now you probably know us from the Explore show, which happens in Eden Park every year. For some of our Aussie partners, we look forward to having some of you join us perhaps on our Explore show in times to come. And we basically bring a cachet of trade-ready operators through to Auckland at Eden Park. We set up shop, and it's an opportunity for buyers to go around and meet the operators in Auckland in one place and space. And it's kind of like our equivalent to Trends, if you like, free flow event. It's really fantastic day out in the big city. But look, when we're talking about Explore Central North Island, we're talking about 8 regions and 3 touring routes. You can see the touring routes that are highlighted there, being the Thermal Explorer Highway, which is our big red line that goes through the middle and culminates down in the volcanic loop at the bottom, and also the Pacific Coast Highway, which goes right around the outside of the eastern side of New Zealand, the North Island of New Zealand. And look, when you have a wee look at that map of New Zealand there, you'll see that the area that we're covering here at Explore Central North Island actually takes up quite a lot of space. So when we're talking about our part of the world, certainly it's a big part to be considered as part of any itinerary for New Zealand, and includes many of our New Zealand must-dos, including places like Hot Water Beach in the Coromandel, Mount Maunganui in the Bay of Plenty, the beautiful East Cape, Tairawhiti Gisborne. We've got the Art Deco capital of New Zealand down in Napier, and then including our friends on the inner part of the Central North Island, including the stunning national parks of the Awakuni and Ruapehu district, New Zealand's largest lake of Lake Taupo, the iconic destination of Rotorua, and then the waves, caves and hobbit holes of the mighty Waikato. Most of these parts of New Zealand are accessible, have got Air New Zealand connectivity with direct access from Auckland, Wellington and Christchurch. And let's not forget, nowhere's far in this part of the world. It's a pretty easy place to navigate. Nowhere is far. Within an hour you're driving into another new awesome place and space to visit. So we encourage you to get your customers and your people moving around our region as much as you can. Look, I'm really excited to be leading the seminar today for the Pacific Coast Highway. So these are our friends from the beautiful Hawke's Bay. We've got Sam joining us from Tairawhiti Gisborne. We've got Kat joining us from New Zealand's Bay of Plenty, and the lovely Lynette coming to us from the Coromandel. So we're going to start this morning with Sam from the beautiful Tairawhiti Gisborne region. I'm just going to find you, Sam, so I can bring you up on screen. So bear with me for a second while I'm driving this little beast here this morning. How are you, Sam?
I'm good, thanks. How are you going?
I'm really good too. I'm just going to bring you up onto screen when I can find you. You disappeared on me. Oh, there you are. Beautiful. There you go. Hello.
Thanks. Hi.
How are you this morning?
I'm good.
The sun's shining very brightly behind you. Almost looks like a halo.
Sun's always shining bright here in Tairawhiti.
Oh, there you go. Hey, look, why don't you tell us what's happening in your part of the world?
Yeah, certainly. I'm just going to jump on the screen share. Can I get you to stop sharing your screen, please?
Oh, of course, I can do that.
Thanks. Right, here we go. So we jump into that one there. Hopefully this is all going to work.
Yeah, good.
Perfect. Here we are, Tairawhiti Gisborne. So no mai, haere mai, ki te Tairawhiti. Welcome. It's been a while since we've seen everyone, but really excited to be presenting here to you today. So this beautiful shot here is the sunrise on Mount Hikurangi, beautiful spot, which I'll get into a bit further down the track. Just a quick reminder for everyone about where we are. So Tairawhiti Gisborne, out on the east coast of the North Island, easy access from the centres of Tauranga, Rotorua and Napier, main cities that are closest to us. And easy access by air and by road. We've got the State Highway 2, which comes in from Potiki and then goes all the way down to Napier, and then our State Highway 35 road trip just around the coast there, which is a beautiful scenic little spot to be getting away to. I guess, why do you visit us? Why do you visit Tairawhiti? Obviously, the first to see the sunrise, our culture. So we are a 50% Māori population in our region, and that population percentage gets even higher as you head up the coast. So we've got lots of different, I guess, culture, and certainly the Māori culture is a big part of our region. Lots of local goodies to eat, and I guess we're a bit of an untouched area. We're not sort of the first thing you think of when you're travelling to New Zealand or travelling around New Zealand, but certainly it's that little bucket list for most Kiwis as well. We're seeing a lot of visitors around State Highway 35 taking that road trip, so that's pretty exciting. And we've got some pretty unique activities here as well, which I'll get into a little bit further down the track. So where to stay? Again, we've got such a wide range of operators here. Portside Hotel, that top left one. Cedar House on the top right, sort of that more boutique B&B offering. Lots of beautiful camping spots. The bottom left there is out at Tatapoti Bay with their Lotus Bell tents, and we've got some Zen cabins that are coming online this year as well. Beautiful ocean views, and then that bottom right one there is just Hicks Bay Motel, so right up the top of the coast area. Great little spot to stay and break up the trip around State Highway 35. Of course, lots of amazing places to eat in town, from fresh seafood or kamoana, through to family treats like the best pizzas you can find, right through to fine dining as well. And a lot of our restaurants and cafes, they're really trying for locally sourced, really enjoying all the fruits and veggies that we've got on offer, and meats and seafoods. Yeah. Drinking, of course, most Kiwis love to drink, as do internationals, and we've got some amazing wineries here as well. Beautiful cellar doors, lots of different offerings. We call ourselves the Chardonnay capital of New Zealand. Lots of beautiful Chardonnays are grown here, brewed here. And then the bottom right one there, we've just got Sunshine Brewery, our local independent brewer, who have about 30 beers on their board at the moment to try. So, and again, they're trying to brew from a lot of local ingredients as well. So we've got honey-based beers, which are really popular at the moment. And then, of course, something to do in our region. So this is the sort of the inland, couple of the inland features. So that top left one, you've got Riri Rock Slide, always really popular. We've got the Motu Trails, part of the Ngā Haerenga Cycle Trail group in New Zealand. Eastwood Hill down the bottom left, which I'll speak a little bit more about. And then our rail bike adventures, the bottom right as well. Breezing through this very quickly, but I'm wary of time. Some of our coastal offerings as well. So again, we've got beautiful scenery, surfing, so many surfing beaches. You won't struggle to find somewhere to surf. Tolaga Bay Wharf there at the bottom left. Great little day out to drive up to Tolaga if you're staying in Gisborne, or on your way past as you travel around the coast, have a bit of a walk out there. And then that bottom right one there is Tatapoti, one of our awesome little spots. So one of our key sort of trade operators, I guess, is Maunga Hikurangi. So they're reasonably new to the piece, and they offer guided tours up Mount Hikurangi. This is Monty, one of the guides, and you might recognise this picture from the Good Morning World campaign that Tourism New Zealand did finish this year. So this being the first peak in New Zealand, I guess, to see the sun each day. New Zealand, the North Island's highest non-volcanic peak as well. And you can see all these carvings that they've got around this site here as well. And each tell the story of Maui and there's different adventures. So awesome experience to sort of really get to know the local culture and just see some of our beautiful scenery. Dive Tatapoti. So I'm going to try and play this video. I was having a few issues with it before, but I'm hoping.
It's getting harder and harder to see animals in their natural environment. You know, you can go to marine reserves, but that's a protected environment. This is a natural environment where the animals come and go. You can interact with them in a natural setting. I think myself, when you're well travelled, you know it's not normal for a big wild animal to come up and sit at your feet. And that really moves people. These animals that come and interact, they don't have to be around us. If they choose to swim away, they can, but they choose to be next to you. That to me is probably the most unique thing for people, to have those big animals coming up to say hello.
Cool. So just a few little words there from Dean. Oh, how do we get out of this bit? Yeah, so just a few little words there from Dean at Dive Tatapoti. So this is one of our main attractions here. There's not many places in the world that you can actually get out and interact with stingrays. And as Dean said, they choose to be there. They don't have to be there. They sort of never know who's going to turn up on the day, but they've got their little key favourites that often turn up and hang out. And it's often people are quite scared when they go out, but there's nothing to be scared about. These are like puppies of the sea. They just come in to be petted and get a little bit of food. And it's truly amazing. I've taken a lot of people out over the last few years and they are blown away every time. So Cycle Gisborne, they are another one of our key trade operators. So these guys do cycling tours around the region. So they've got short little day trips or half day trips. This one here is one of the city tours, going around some of the local eateries and having a bit of a more informative sort of ride around town. And then you can do these guided or unguided as well. And then the Cycle Gisborne team also do trips through the Motu trails, along the Riri Falls, and I think they're just heading out today on a trip right around the East Cape as well for cycling adventures. So there's lots that they can offer. Eastwood Hill Arboretum, so not many people know about this one, but it is New Zealand's national arboretum and they offer guided tours around here as well. So this all started 110 years ago where Douglas Cook decided that they were just going to plant a collection of trees and he sort of went off to, came back from World War I and was sort of a bit shocked about what was happening in that and decided that if there was going to be some form of major disaster in the Northern Hemisphere that he'd collect a whole lot of their trees and bring them down and keep them safeguarded here essentially, which with what's happened with climate change and things like that, there's a lot of trees that are now extinct in the Northern Hemisphere, but we've got them down in the Southern Hemisphere right here in Tairawhiti. So it's a pretty amazing experience as well. Great day out to take a picnic or grab something from the cafe and just have a wander around. Highly recommend it. And they've got some accommodation on site too for those that want to have a little bit of an extra stay. And then this is my favourite place. So very quick overview of our region. And I'm running a little bit under time, so that's good. So this is my favourite place. This is Tokomaru Bay. It's about an hour's drive north of Gisborne and has the best little pub on the coast. Sits right on almost on the water's edge. So you've got great views and great seafood. This is where you can get pawa pie when you're travelling around. And we go camping here every summer. It's just absolutely my favourite place. So yeah, that was a really quick overview from me. I will be doing a longer version and a bit more in depth about a few of the products as well on Friday at 10:30 for half an hour. So you're welcome to join then. And make sure you're following our social media and check out our website just to find out a bit more information. And that's my email address there as well, which I'm sure they will be able to send out too. So that's it really from me.
Hey, thanks so much for that, Sam. Now, I do believe, just at the risk of putting on the spot a little bit, that Mr. Cook was a rather unusual man, and you talked about he had these incredible theories about what might happen to the Northern Hemisphere, but
Yep.
There's something else quite unusual about his gardening, wasn't there?
Yeah, he was a little bit eccentric. Guests would often turn up to sort of explore the area and find him completely nude, all bar 1 foot with a gumboot on, because obviously you can't dig a spade and plant trees without a gumboot. So yeah, a bit of an interesting fellow, but
He was, but by golly, what an incredible legacy for him that he has now, that's for sure.
yeah.
Now, hey, we'll say goodbye to Sam and kick on to our lovely friend Kat waiting for us in the Bay of Plenty.
Beautiful.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
We're good, actually. It's a little bit cloudy out there, but it's a beautiful day otherwise. And I'm excited to get through our presentation.
Awesome.
So,
Well, let's know what's happening in your part of the world.
All right. So I'll just start up. Here we go. There we go. Bear with me. All right. Is that okay? Everybody can see that? Can you hear me? Okay. So, Bay of Plenty. I will click through. We have been busy working through our place DNA. So, yeah, thank you. Sorry. So, here in Tauranga and the wider Bay of Plenty, we've identified our place DNA themes as being 4 main pillars: the oceans and beaches, horticultural provenance, natural environment, and Māori culture. So from there, our predominant markets we identify for travellers here tend to be surfers and beach lovers, eco-travellers, cultural explorers, and outdoor adventurers. And in Tourism Bay of Plenty, we have been busy over these last few months working on some new marketing material. So I wanted to share with you our latest video. So hopefully it will play. Here we go. Oh.
Te moana nui a toi, sure to make you smile.
Okay, the Bay of Plenty is known as a coastal paradise and is where generations of Kiwis have spent their holidays. There is 78 miles of white sandy beaches, including 3 of the top beaches in New Zealand. And Mount Maunganui has once again consecutively been voted the #1 beach in New Zealand. It's really popular for its surf, paddleboarding, kayaking, swimming, fishing, exploring the outer islands and our marine life. And of course we have the amazing beachside cafes and the never-ending white sands. We also have the highest hours of sunshine in New Zealand, although Sam from Gisborne might be a good contender for that as well. So I thought what I'll do is I'll run through some of our operators and just remind you or refresh you of who we have here and what we have here and anything new that may have been happening over since we last were in contact. So we'll start with Waimarino with the evening glowworm kayaking tour. This is a place like no other in terms of connecting with nature, and it's a once in a lifetime opportunity to be kayaking as well as at night time and also experiencing the glowworms. It's a 3.5 hour easy trip. There's no particular experience required, although we do look at ages 8 years and older. They start the tour with a glass of wine or beer or a non-alcoholic beverage, some light snacks on the water's edge before getting into the kayaks with all of the appropriate gear and going out with your guide onto the Mangapapa Canyon. I have a video, so I thought we'd show you just a refresher video of the experience as well. Here we go. Oh, can we hear sound on that? I don't have sound. Well, here we are, we're getting ready to go into the kayaks and departing up through McLaren up into the Mangapapa Canyon. And at nightfall, you have the stars above you as a canopy before you come into the canyon where you're surrounded by the beautiful glowworms as well. I love this tour. I've done it numerous times. So I'm sorry if you can't hear the sound, but we'll go on to the next slide. My apologies. Okay, next up we have the Bay Explorer. The Bay Explorer Island and Wildlife Cruise is amazing. You spend the cruise exploring our pristine Bay of Plenty coastline and islands. Not only the images show dolphins, but that is not all that we have out in the waters here. It's quite frequently we'll have orca come through even into our harbour, so there have been sightings of whales, orca, turtles, penguins, schoolfish, sunfish, sharks and even turtles, although I may have said turtles. So no 2 days are ever the same out there. On board the vessel there is a fully stocked licensed bar and snacks are available. They can also pre-order lunches if necessary. The tour itself is a half-day excursion departing Tauranga Harbour at approximately 9 o'clock and returning between 1 and 2 p.m. And that depends on really where the wildlife would be. The captain, Brandon Stone, is a marine biologist and he's really passionate about what we have out in the oceans here. And he has an incredible crew as well to be sure that your guests will have a wonderful time. Okay, next we have the Te Puke Kiwi Fruit Country. So the Kiwi Fruit Country is a working kiwi fruit orchard And this is where all the kiwi fruit are grown in New Zealand. It's the only place where you can visit a working kiwi fruit orchard and learn why the kiwi fruit is the king fruit. On site, you'll be able to enjoy some tastings of their gold and green kiwis. There are also other types of kiwi fruit that you may not see in other places or in the shops. You can try some of the wine or liquor, and they also have a cafe on site and a gift shop. So we go from health food to something a little bit different. We have the Brew Bus Craft Beers Tours. And this is a little bit of a growing business with the growing local breweries around, providing more intimate tours as well. So the tour is about 5 to 5.5 hours long. It's a guided tour, and it involves craft beer tastings at 4 locations. There's a beautiful lunch that's put on, and it also includes a brewery tour during the tour out as well. There are daily departures at the moment, and they can do a shorter afternoon tour if that's necessary as well. They can take more intimate FIT sized, so from 8 people up to 35 passengers. I'm personally not a beer lover though, so this isn't perhaps my cup of tea, but they do go to a cider factory as well. Okay, and now we have the V8 trikes. V8 trikes are, I guess they're a little bit something different. Well, you may not necessarily find in many places. The V8 Chevrolet trikes are actually designed and built here in New Zealand. The low centre of gravity ensure that it is a smooth ride, and a thrilling ride by the sounds as well. The V8 trucks are licensed as cars, so you don't actually need to be wearing a helmet, but you do have to wear a seatbelt. We have the 2 trikes here, so a total of 8 people at any one time. Each trike can carry 4 people, and they are offering a range of tours. So from a bite-sized 25-minute capture of Mount Maunganui main sites through to a 3-hour tour. I feel like I'm rushing through this, sorry. We're going to move along the coast now down towards Whakatane to Motuhura Island, or also known as Whale Island. So Whale Island is located 9 kilometres off the Whakatane coast, and it is a pest-free sanctuary for endangered wildlife, birdlife and tuatara. The visitor numbers are limited because of the care that they have to take with the endangered wildlife and bird life. You can enjoy a walk amongst regenerated bush as you listen to the bird calls, dig yourself a geothermal spring pool at the Onopoto Bay, which is natural hot water bay, or you can go swimming in the waters, and there are seal colonies there as well. So here we have, there are 2 tour companies that head out to Whale Island, both White Island Tours and KG Kayaks. These are both 2 very different tours. With KG Kayaks, you head out on the catamaran. It's small numbers up to 8 people, and there is 2 hours of kayaking and paddling around the waters of Whale Island, and it is spectacular. And then the other option is with White Island Tours, and it is a boat that travels out maximum 20 people at a time, and there is a tour that goes onto the island where you can discover with a guide and commentary the bird life, the history of the land, and that is also where you'll be able to go and swim and create some nice cozy spaces on the hot water beach as well. Now I think I have a video. Here we go. So this is the tour by White Island Tours, and hopefully this one may have sound. Oh, it doesn't look like it does. So this is heading out Whakatane Heads on a 15-minute boat ride out to Whale Island. Seal colony, very friendly. I'm sorry about the no sound, I'll just let this run.
That looks like fun, a hot water beach there.
I know.
Kat.
I was actually just thinking how that would be obviously competing with Coromandel's hot water beach, but just as lovely. Absolutely.
Certainly the bird life and the sea life as part of that experience would be something quite special.
And also, I agree. And also, I've done that, and also gone out swimming with the seal colony is just spectacular. They're so friendly and fun. So the Bay of Plenty is the landing place for the Matatua Waka from Waiki, which is the legendary homeland of the Māori people. And this, in Whakatane, we had the Matatua Marae Cultural Immersion Experience, where you can visit the landing place and the local marae of the Ngāti Awa people and enjoy a traditional pōwhiri welcome, be led onto this beautiful meeting house, watch the award-winning light show, which tells the story of the house and of the people. There is also an inclusion of a hangi lunch that has to be requested. If you were to go and would like to do that, you would have to request that separately, but they are providing that. There's really, when you're heading out to Whakatane, this is highly on the list of inclusions that I would highly recommend. And a little bit further around from Whakatane, we head out towards Aporiki, and we have a cycling company out there, which is the Mighty Motu Bike Tours. So the Dunes Trail cycle with Mighty Motu Bike Tours explores the Dunes Trail section of the Motu, which is an easy track running adjacent to the Pacific Ocean, which you can see there in the images. Your guide will help you learn about the local history, and will take you to some of those spectacular views along the coast. It's an approximate 3 to 4 hour tour, and includes refreshments along the way as well. And that's suitable for FIT and small groups only. Okay, so coming into our accommodation range, I'll just quickly run through what we have for some accommodation. So this is our Trinity Wharf Hotel. It's a 4-star deluxe. We have 123 rooms and apartments available. There's an on-site restaurant, conference rooms, and a swimming pool. Hotel on Devonport is also 4-star deluxe. These are both located in Tauranga town, both this and Trinity Wharf. We are also quite happy to announce that the Armitage Hotel has come to almost the end of its refurbishment, where they've refurbished the restaurant, bar, conference rooms, and 81 rooms have been refurbished with just a few left to go, and it is looking beautiful. Also located in Tauranga town, and really great to see that we have some more quality accommodation for guests to come and stay with us. Clarence Hotel and Bistro. This is a lovely boutique building. It's actually our old post office that they have converted into a stunning restaurant and bar, and the restaurant is fantastic. And then there are 10 boutique rooms, each room is furnished individually as well. Somewhat new into Tauranga is the Quest. This opened last year and it has 42 rooms with a selection of studios, executive studios and 1-bedroom apartments. We have also a few higher end for FIT higher end clientele. The French Country House is an excellent example, also based in the Tauranga area. Luxury accommodation nestled in the hills and 3 suites each with an ensuite. And then the Eagle Ridge, which is a secluded country estate, 4-bedroom lodge, each with an ensuite also. And the Morning Tide, which is a premium nautical inspired villa. As you can read there, 6 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms. And Papamoa Beach Resort, which is a little bit further out. You can see Mount Maunganui from there, a little bit further out from the mount, right along the coast and right along with the beautiful white sandy beaches there. I've actually been here and seen 2 orca. I don't know if they're chasing chasing fish or whatnot, but right playing in the waves and coming up right onto the beach. Not perhaps in some ways you don't particularly want to go swimming with orca, but stunning to see. So we have quite varied accommodation also in Mount Maunganui and throughout Tauranga and the area. There are also apartments. So realistically, there may be something that would fit whatever your needs may be. Just come back to us if you're not sure, and we're always here to help. And on top of accommodation, we have some fantastic restaurants, cafes throughout Mount Maunganui, Tauranga and Whakatane. What have we got? Tauranga is also is a great location for events. We have some events coming up this year. We have Gin Credible, which is a gin tasting event down in our historic village. It's becoming quite popular. We have our annual jazz festival, which has been running for decades here, and it's on every Easter weekend. We have marathons for those who may be interested in coming for a marathon events. And coming up in March, we also have, for the first time ever, the Emergency Services Games, which is ambulance, police, fire, and other folk who are involved in emergency services, which will be quite busy for us actually during that time. We'll skip past there. This is the end really of what I had to update you on, except to let you know that we do have a few other operators who have been emerging during this time, and it's a little bit of watch this space. We have hopefully a cultural tour focus coming on board soon, and also a bike and cycleway tour company here, fingers crossed, in the Tauranga Mount Maunganui area as well. So I'm sorry if I've rushed a little bit through this, but hopefully this has been helpful, and please come back to me if you need any help or any queries around anything. Thank you.
Okay, hey, thanks for that update. You can sign me up for the Gintastic. I'll be there, that's for sure. All right, let's have a look at what's happening in the beautiful Coromandel, and we'll bring lovely Lynette up on screen. Lynette, good morning.
Kia ora, everybody. How are we doing? Does that look good? Yes.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. You're good to go.
Thanks. Oh, it is so good to be here. Great to connect with everybody. And certainly our operators are very excited to hear that we were starting this series of webinars. They're really looking forward to connecting with those partners that they've discovered really mean an awful lot to their business. So perhaps that's where I'll start. I mean, like the rest of our wonderful Pacific Coast Highway, we've got a long coastline, lots of beaches, and that's why we're a place where Kiwis love to holiday. Everybody's got their favourite beach. Now, our gateway airport, as you know, is Auckland. We don't have an airport in region, but we don't need one because we're only an hour from Auckland Airport, and we also have the Fuller's 360 ferry. So I'm going to start there at the north, entering the beautiful Coromandel Harbour on a 2-hour scenic ferry ride from downtown Auckland. I'm going to focus on product updates today. What's been really interesting is, as a region where Kiwis love to holiday and a big domestic market, our council have been pretty excited because our spend has been holding up pretty well through winter. So everyone's feeling pretty happy about that. But the interesting thing is, of course, now when our international guests would be here, some of our operators are really noticing the difference. And they've been doing courses on digital marketing, other types of marketing, and finding out that actually some of them have never marketed their businesses because they didn't need to, because all our trade partners did such an excellent job. So we're really looking forward to renewing those relationships. We've got all our old favourites are still there. Luckily, small owner operators, they're pretty used to hibernating through winter. They have very seasonal businesses, so they've survived pretty well so far, but really looking forward to reconnecting with you all and getting things going again. So Fuller's 360 have started their service again, which is great. It'll be a full-time service over the summer. And whoops, it's just disappearing. Are you still there?
You're there.
Cool. And there's full connectivity around the Coromandel from the ferry. So the new shuttle service from the ferry is with Driving Creek Railway, which actually works out because will be trade-ready products with Fuller's that you can book. So that's a day or overnight excursion package that you'll be able to book directly through Fuller's. Driving Creek have a big international market, but their new Coro Zip product, which they opened in October 2019, has really got them through the winter. It's pretty cool. So you hop on the old narrow gauge mountain railway, which they're so well known for, climb to the top of the Eiffel Tower, and from there you take 8 zip lines over the native forest canopy. They're also introducing some ecology tours, and it's really good to see that the conservation focus of Barry Brickell, the well-known founder of Driving Creek, who has passed away, is continuing and really going from strength to strength. So there'll be some news about Driving Creek in the months ahead. And Coromandel Adventures is still based in Coromandel Town, providing tours around that northern coastline, particularly to the Coromandel Coastal Walkway, which, as you know, is the 10-kilometre walk connecting the two ends of the road that don't meet. That's a pretty remote experience, but all within an hour's drive of Coromandel Town. And these guys are still doing their tours further down the Pacific Coast Highway in New Zealand. They've done some over winter. So they're a good go-to company for solutions for those visitors who aren't driving. But of course, like all the destinations in Central North Island, we're really a self-drive destination. Most of the people are driving their own car. And of course, this is our big hook, as you can see on the wall behind me. And Cathedral Cove still gets a lot of attention. One of the reasonably new tour operators who was making some good traction in the international space was Explore Paradise. They've managed to hunker down and get through the winter. So we're pleased to say that they are still offering tours, and they're free speaking, which is of interest to some markets. And they also can take guests to a lot of off the beaten track places like Otama and Opito, which are not normally on tour itineraries. Kiwi Dundee Adventures as well. You may remember that Jan and Doug finally exited the industry after many years, not that long ago, but John and Rose have hunkered down over the winter. Kiwi Dundee is not really a domestic product, so they've found other useful things to do in the conservation space. They're both very experienced conservation scientists, and they're looking forward to international guests returning. And they've got some new product and branching out on those tours that Kiwi Dundee's have been known for many years. Hope you run across Kylie Way from Nature and Nosh. She's also operating through the Waikato. This is a very exciting new product. So I don't know how she does it. She finds the coolest boutique places to stay, the most wonderful little local providers of all sorts of delicious treats, and she takes guests on guided hiking tours. So they're day hikes with a small pack. There's no massive hiking involved, but they're off the beaten track trails with a beautiful little place to stay and wonderful local food. So Kylie's amazing. So she's doing a couple in the Coromandel, as I said, some in the Waikato. So watch out for Nature and Nosh if you haven't met Kylie yet. Some new products. So this was going to be at Trends this year. Windborne Charters. So she's an old 65-year gaff rig cutter. She sails around the Mercury Bay, private tours, but also sightseeing half-day trips as well. So that'll be one to watch, as will be Boom Sailing. So this is a catamaran. So they've got a sunset tour, which is pretty cool. Because it's shallow draft, they can get in very close into the marine reserve. So it's a pretty laid back kind of a adventure. Small groups, as you can see, sit there on the sling. But they also have a America's Cup style foiling cat, which is spectacular. So if you've got clients who really do want a dose of adrenaline or would like to learn to sail from real pro racing sailors, that will be a good option. So both those sailing ships actually operate out of Whitianga Harbour. And our tried and true, all still here, exploring the volcanic coastline. You can see here they are in one of the blowholes. So ocean leopard tours, glass bottom boat and sea cave adventures are all still operating daily out of the Whitianga wharf. They're all 2-hour trips. And off the Hawke beach, we've got Cathedral Cove kayaks. Their 3-hour kayak trip into the Cathedral Cove is one of our best known export ready products. And the Hawke Explorer is see it all in 1 hour, they say. So that's the smaller inflatable that launches off the beach at Hawke and takes you to the hot spots along the volcanic coast. And I should say that Cathedral Cove kayaks are the only guys who are allowed to land on Cathedral Cove, apart from the water taxi, which will be running over summer. And exploring the volcanic coastline from the sea is really the way to do it. The track into Cathedral Cove is now pretty well sealed all the way. You could take a stroller down there. You could probably take a mobility scooter down there just about until you got to the stairs at the end. There are still stairs at the end. But really, to get the true beauty and all the strange caves and tunnels and things, a boat's the way to go. Last spring, they had a really interesting time these last few months. They've rejigged the way they offer their product. So you now book in for a swim. That's to ensure the safety of all the guests. And that's actually worked really well for them. So I think we'll find that some of the, as with some of our other operators, some of the things they've learned through this period will be things that they'll keep in their business. One of the things too that's been really good is they're working a lot more with other operators, particularly accommodation providers, to provide packages. So there'll be more ways for you to add value to your accommodation bookings with such things as a Lost Spring package or a boat tour. And Mercury Bay Estate is the same. So while the Coromandel is known for seafood, but not particularly for wine, we do have a lovely vineyard at Cook's Beach, Mercury Bay Estate, and packages with some of our Coromandel, some of our accommodation providers have gone really well for us over the winter. Maui camper vans also have parking spots here, so it's a pretty nice place to camp in your camper van amongst the vines. And as you might expect with a long coastline, a lot of what I'm presenting today is about the sea. This is Whenua Kura Wildlife Sanctuary off the coast of Whangamata, so we're heading south at the moment, tantalising close to Whangamata Beach, but you do need to take a guide. It's not as easy as it looks, and you get to paddle in through the sea cave into this collapsed blowhole. It's a wildlife sanctuary, so you can't land, and the guides also offer an interesting narrative about what the owners are doing with the island and how the flora and fauna have changed over the years. New product for them, they have a lodge a stone's throw from the beach, so they're offering surf and stay packages like the Bay of Plenty and Tairawhiti Gisborne. a lot of people who come through the Coromandel like to surf or would like to learn how to surf. So Whangamata with Surf and Stay is a good place to do it. And they also have a new estuary tour. While the prevailing winds in the Coromandel are southwesterly, so our boat operators get to operate many days. Obviously, weather is always a consideration. So with their estuary tour, if the sea conditions are inclement, they can take you on a wildlife paddle up the Whangamata estuary. So good to see some innovation and new ideas coming out of this period. Canyons are still going strong. As you can see, this is the real deal adventure trip. It's a full day in the Sleeping God Canyon, 300 meters of vertical descent, abseiling, jumping, flying foxes. Not for the faint-hearted, not for me, I wish. Their new half-day product, it's a big half day, but we're getting good traction with that through trade. So not all about the beach. I'll quickly touch on this. Has been done particularly well with our Australian visitors on the Hauraki Rail Trail. Kaitaki Tours is a reasonably new company, a tour company on the Hauraki Rail Trail. They specialise in high quality European e-bikes. So multi-day tours is their specialty. And the Waihi Gold Discovery, they've also added bike hire to their suite of services. So not only do they have the Gold Discovery Centre and the mine tours, but they also have excursions into the Karangahaki Gorge on the Hauraki Rail Trail. And very soon they'll be offering guided tours through the Karangahaki Gorge as well. Quick touch on some accommodations. Stuart and Sonia were at Trends for the first time last year. They've had a couple more units come into the letting pool this winter. So Puka Park is still our only hotel, but this is a good, Sovereign Pier in the Waterways is a good property in Whitianga for a staycation. Falls Retreat, that's kind of a bit out of order, but never mind. This is one of our, arguably one of the top restaurants in the Coromandel, and they are doing some interesting paddock plate garden tours and workshops, which we think could be of interest or will be of interest to trade. So we look to talking more about that later. Wairua Lodge, they've had a complete refurbishment. This is just south of Whitianga. So it's a rainforest retreat. And Hahei Holiday Resort, they've been busy building lots of beachfront batches. You can see the view is astonishing. Surprisingly for a country with such a beautiful coastline, it's actually not that easy to find true beachfront accommodation. And this is the real deal. You can see this is the view from a sea view villa. So this campground has been around forever. It's evolved over the years, happily. It has stayed as a campground, and there's lots of exciting product coming along there. They continue to build. So I look forward to catching up with you all again in a couple of weeks. Ness, I think we've got a Coromandel update on the 16th.
And you have got a Coromandel update on the 16th, and we really look forward to seeing you then and hearing a lot more about some of your products and some of the developments in the region.
Kia ora.
Kia ora to you. So I'm going to just update all our team.
Vanessa, you're just on mute.
That's not very helpful, is it, being on mute? Goodness me. Sorry about that, everybody. Lynette, thank you so much for that update, and you'll see we'll see more of what's going on with you in the on the 16th of December. So you'll be the last in our ECNI series of webinars and updates for trade, and we look forward to hearing a little bit more about that. So you've got me now just to do a quick update with you regarding the Hawke's Bay. So I'm just going to screen share with you now, and I'm hoping that that comes through nicely for you. There we go. So that's me. Now you've got me today. The beautiful Heather is currently traveling in Auckland, and she is going to be catching up with quite a few of you at the Tech Christmas Symposium, which is on this week, and she's pulling together a really detailed presentation for you, which will be screening Monday 10:30 again, and she'll do a deep dive into products and experiences on itineraries for the region. But by golly, doesn't that look good? That's Elephant Hill Winery, and you've got Cape Kidnappers in the background as well there on that shot. So just a reminder to you all about where they are. They're on the east coast of the lower North Island, the Hawke's Bay. It's really, really accessible. It's a wonderful destination to get to and around, and that you can fly in from Auckland, Wellington or Christchurch, and also driving from Taupo. It's an hour and a half from Taupo, 2.5 hours drive from Rotorua, so it's not too difficult to work into an itinerary as well. So lots of really lovely offerings for clients in this part of the world. So the desirable seasons in this in the Hawke's Bay is really what defines a lot of the experiences because of its Mediterranean climate. Some of New Zealand's best and most settled weather is had there. You've heard a bit of that this morning already, but the numbers don't lie. So certainly that lots and lots of sunshine and beautiful warm weather. And the nice thing about this part of the country too is that even in winter you can have some really lovely experiences. You can still enjoy the Hawke's Bay season off peak. Probably in terms of seasonal offerings, the gannets are viewable from September till March, and this overland safaris are operating. They travel through Cape Kidnappers. They're still operating with multiple departures daily at the moment. We'll see those right through summer. The birds will be with us right through till March. The gannet is a giant seabird that comes and settles in a colony every year. And Heather will give you an update also on Gannet Beach Adventures, which is the tractor experience that takes you up the beach. She's doing her presentation on Monday, so you'll hear a little bit more about what she's up to there. Art Deco Napier. Well, Christchurch isn't the only place to have a devastating earthquake. This happened in 1931 in Napier, in the city of Napier, which is the largest populated area of the Hawke's Bay. It's the city in Hawke's Bay really, and it was rebuilt from then, and you can't help but admire the very distinctive and attractive architecture that the town's been rebuilt in the whole Art Deco style. So it's one of the most complete collections of Art Deco style buildings in the world, second only to Florida, in fact. So there's different ways that you can engage with it. With the Art Deco Trust, you can do guided walks, and even more fun, you can take a vintage car tour, which I did in a fabulous vehicle. And honestly, I almost wish I'd dragged out my great-grandmother's fox fur to come and do that as well, because it was really something quite special. Heather will talk a little bit more on the other products that you can do to learn more about Art Deco nature. But what you should know is that they celebrate with an annual festival every February. The tickets are on sale for the festival at the moment. So if you're in New Zealand and you've always wanted to go to the festival, this could quite possibly be the year to go. It's a fantastic festival. It brings lots and lots of people from around the country and traditionally around the world to this festival, and certainly is one to engage with in this part of the region, part of the Central North Island. And the thing to remember about Hawke's Bay is they do have a lot of events. They're very event heavy there, and you can check out their events on their hawkesbaynz.com website on a regular basis. With that beautiful climate comes incredible opportunity to grow some beautiful things, lots of apples and stone fruit, plums and apricots, my favourite nectarines. And you really can't go to the Hawke's Bay without going to the farmers market. It's actually New Zealand's largest, and it's an absolute must do. So even if you're visiting in the region, who can turn down some beautiful fresh produce? Look at all those beautiful stone fruit in that box. I'm always keen. Another major feature in their calendar is definitely around events calendar is the Hawke festival. So this is 60 to 70 out of the box culinary experiences. They stage them in unique stunning Hawke's Bay locations. So for example, Black Barn last year, Black Barn Winery did a mystery location. They set up a marquee down at the river, beautiful long white tablecloth tables, and did a fantastic long lunch. By golly, that would be completely unforgettable. So just keep an eye on the events calendar for Hawke's Bay, because the other thing that can do is not only can you have your visitors experiencing some fabulous events while they're here, but also just means that you need to keep an eye on availability as well. The region grows incredible grapes. It's the New Zealand's oldest wine region, actually. You can see Mission Estate up the top there. That's the oldest winery in the country. They are known very, very well for their beautiful reds and also their rich, complex Chardonnays. And there's the region, as the wine growing aspect of the region is growing broader and broader. And there's over 200 vineyards and 76 wineries and 38 cellar doors that you can go and visit as part of the experience. Excuse me. Wine is very much at the centre of many Hawke's Bay experiences. You can engage with it through self-driving. You can take cycle tours. You can have guided experiences. Tastings right through to full gastro and culinary experiences, even heli experience as well. So there's some fantastic opportunities to learn a little bit more about the wine of the region. Heather will let you a little bit in on a few more secrets and a few more operators that are giving access to wine experiences in the region that are working with trade and really can help your clients get a taste, excuse the pun, of the region. So yes, I quite like to have a wee taste of the region when I go to the Hawke's Bay, it has to be said. And while I'm there, there's also opportunities to experience some fantastic food. As you can well imagine, with so much beautiful fresh local produce to hand, the restaurants really tip up with some incredible experiences for the guests. For your guests while you're in town. One of the neat things that happens in this region, which doesn't happen everywhere, is that there's a group of top restaurants who actually hold tables for some of their high-end accommodations, and then that means that when their clients are coming to town, they're guaranteed to have a really top-notch culinary experience, and they have guaranteed reservations available for guests when they visit. So as I've mentioned, the Hawke events really do showcase the region's culinary prowess, and you can check that out on hawkesbaynz.com website. Keep up to date with what is on offer there. Now you can join Heather next week. She will give us a deep dive into tours and activities, accommodation, new product, luxury product. There's quite a bit of luxury offerings in this part of the world, events, and also the trade marketing resources as well. I know we're running a little bit late. That's pretty much it from me this morning. That's Hawke's Bay's contacts with Heather. She's, as I've said, she's in Auckland this week, so she'll connect with some of you that are there. The webinar series for ECNI, that continues tomorrow morning with Hamilton and Waikato Tourism. I know that Rebecca's busy getting some of her operators lined up to share their experiences with you tomorrow, including the team from Hobbiton. We've got THL joining us, Sanctuary Mountain Mangatauteri, as well as Hamilton Gardens. And she'll be giving you a deep dive on some of the products on offer there in the Waikato and updating you with what's going on. In the meantime, the Explore Central North Island NZ.com website will have a link to all of these webinars, so you can share them amongst your team. It's going to be great for onboarding staff once we start to ramp up again with border openings, etc. We've got an online product directory there as well, so a list of trade-ready operators. We're going to have driving maps and consumers available for your guide, for visitors, as well as for training your staff. And in development as we speak is a new online resource, which is a online product updates from some of our operators. So I'll say to you now, my friends, ka kite anō from all of us at ECNI. We thank you for joining us this morning. We wish you many blessings and have a great day. Thank you for joining us.
Sure, everyone.